Shares in Chinese e-commerce titan Alibaba Group Holdings surged by 38% on their first day of trading in New York.
With banks expected to buy additional shares, Alibaba's initial public offering is on course to be the world's biggest. It was an auspicious U.S. debut for shares of the Chinese e-commerce giant Alibaba Group Holding. Scores of people, including Chinese tourists, gathered outside the New York Stock Exchange before the start of trading yesterday. CEO and founder Jack Ma was present to witness the historic moment that would make the former English language teacher the richest person in China. 8 Alibaba customers rang the opening bell, triggering a rush of more than 100 million shares traded in the first few minutes. Alibaba priced shares for its initial public offering at $68 each, but they surged to $92.70 at the start of the trade. The stock reached a day high of $99.70 before closing at $93.89, up 38% from its offer price. Alibaba is now worth $231 billion, exceeding the combined market capitalization of Amazon and eBay, the two leading U.S. e-commerce companies. The mainland firm raised nearly $22 billion from its IPO. But if, as expected, underwriters exercise their option for an additional 48 million shares, the IPO could bring in $25 billion, making it the largest in history. Analysts say the e-commerce giant still has room to grow.
A lot of people in China have mobile devices, but high-speed mobile devices are just really coming into that market, which means that more time will be spent online, more things will be done mobilely.
Alibaba, which started in 1999, now accounts for about 80% of online sales in China, and its New York debut took Ma's personal fortune to more than $25 billion.
In other world news, a JetBlue airliner has been forced to make an emergency landing in California because of an engine problem shortly after takeoff.
But first, dozens of Turks seized by militants in Iraq have been released after 3 months in captivity. 49 Turks kidnapped by the militant group Islamic State in northern Iraq in June have returned home. The Turks, including diplomats, soldiers and children, were seized from their country's consulate general in the city of Mosul. The circumstances leading to their freedom are not clear, but officials said it was the result of a detailed and secret operation. Sources say a successful operation was conducted and no ransom was paid. All the former captives were said to be in good health. There was panic during a domestic flight in the U.S. when smoke spread in the aircraft. Footage from a passenger showed people scrambling to put on oxygen masks before the JetBlue plane returned to Long Beach Airport in California and made an emergency landing. The plane, with 147 people on board, was on a flight to Austin in Texas when smoke billowed out of air vents following an engine failure.
We were up probably 10-15 minutes, and then the engine blew. Smoke started to come throughout the cockpit, through the plane, and it was chaos. So we landed.
No one was injured in the incident. A man who jumped over a security fence at the White House sparked an evacuation of one of the most highly protected buildings in the world. The breach prompted a rare evacuation of much of the compound. White House staff and journalists inside the West Wing were evacuated by Secret Service officers, some with their weapons drawn. The unidentified man reached the front door before police officers arrested him, just minutes after President Barack Obama had left for Camp David. Time now for sports with Leung.
So Asia's biggest sporting event is underway, Bo.
That's right, all eyes are on Incheon. The South Korean city is hosting the Asian Games, the world's biggest sporting gala after the Olympics. China was first off the mark.